Today I'd like to show you some new features to the IBM Kubernetes Service that bring IBM Cloud DevOps and IBM Kubernetes closer together and easier to use than ever before. When viewing a Kubernetes cluster, you'll see that there's now a DevOps tab. And if we click on this, you can see we have the option Deploy Apps Using Continuous Delivery. If I had some existing DevOps toolchains, you'd see them listed here, but I don't have one yet, so let's go ahead and create one now. Simply click on Create a Toolchain. Here I can choose a toolchain template. You'll notice this list is pre-filtered for Kubernetes. And I will choose Develop a Kubernetes App with Helm. Next, we'll see the toolchain setup form where we can configure deployment into our cluster. So I'm going to, just by default, stick to our Hello World application because I just want to deploy a simple application to my cluster. And if we jump to the delivery pipeline, we can create or enter an API key that will allow the pipeline to deploy into our Kubernetes cluster. You'll see that it's already selected my correct region, resource group, and cluster to deploy into. I could change the namespace that the Helm deployment will deploy into, but for now I'm just going to leave it with the default, which is prod, and hit create. At this point, I've now got my DevOps toolchain, which is a clone of the Hello World repo that I can then use for editing of my application. And I also have a delivery pipeline. Our delivery pipeline will build the application, validate that it built correctly, and then deploy it into my Kubernetes cluster. This will take a few minutes to execute. Luckily, with the magic of video editing, I have it already completed. You can see at the bottom of our logs here, we can view the live deployed application at this URL. Welcome to IBM Cloud DevOps with Docker, Kubernetes, and Helm charts. So let's jump back to our DevOps pipeline. And if we go back to our toolchain, you'll now see in the Connections tab that we have a connection to our Kubernetes cluster. So we have easy traceability between where our toolchains are, what they're deploying into, and when we're looking at our cluster, we can easily see all the toolchains that are deploying into this cluster. And with that, it's now easier than ever to connect IBM Cloud DevOps and continuous delivery with your Kubernetes clusters.